Hello world, how you guys doing? Welcome to Featured Entrepreneur Fridays. I am your host, Dr. Casual Pitts, and we have a special guest on today who is going to do the most amazing job with giving us a piece of her life. This individual, I do no justice in expressing who she is, so I'm going to allow her to do it herself. Just ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Cherrea. Ma'am, are you there?
I am. Thank you so much. I am doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me on today, Dr. Pitts. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And by the way, you guys, please forgive me. It is Cherrea Williams, okay? So, listen, Cherrea, can you do everybody a favor and just give us a little bit of a bio of who you are, you know, what you do, and how did you get where you're at now?
Absolutely. So, yes, I am Cherrea Williams. I was about to say Dr. Cherrea Williams. I don't know. Maybe that's down the line. I don't know. But, something rubbing off on me from you, doctor. But, yes, I am Dr. Cherrea. I'm saying it again. I'm Cherrea Williams. And I am a life coach, a lifestyle strategist, and a counselor, but I wasn't always so. I've come with a background of 25 years as a chemist, a biochemist. So I spent many, many years doing that. But in the past few years, I have decided to go after my passion and become the life coach and counselor that I am. And I'm excited to be here today. I am from Philadelphia, the great city of Philadelphia. Yes, go Eagles. I don't really care what they're doing right now.
In the house.
Yes, it's not his house, right? You can hear it in my accent. It's all good, right? And I've been in Atlanta for about 16 years, so I think I'm a Georgia peach as well. So I'm going to go ahead with that. And I have...
Yeah, you get a pass.
I get a pass? Okay. I mean, well, I'm glad I get a pass because I am sweet. I am very, very sweet. I'm a sweet and kind and loving person, and that's why I do what it is that I do today. So I am so excited to be here to tell you all exactly what I do. I am the CEO and founder of Life is You, and LIFE is an acronym which stands for Living in Fervent Excellence as You. Fervent is a word which means passion with zeal, and so I teach people how to do exactly that by helping them and allowing them to understand that they can manifest their true hopes, dreams, and desires if they do the work. So that is just one of my functions. I am also a distributor and an owner of Tava Lifestyle, and I'll tell you more about that later. I'm certain that Dr. Pitts has some questions for me, and I'll get a little bit more into all of that. But that's just me in a nutshell, and so many people call me Coach Cece. So, yes, I am Coach Cece.
Absolutely. Well, listen, that is a great segue into our first question. Just tell us an amazing acronym for the business. So tell us, how did the idea for your business come about?
Okay, yes. So I spent some 12 to 15 years, you get lost in it, at the Coca-Cola company, very wonderful company to be at as a chemist, and I just was not happy with my day-to-day routine or my day-to-day ins and outs of what I did. Nothing to do with the work. It was not passionate or for me anymore, right? So, of course, you have to have some type of passion to study and to become a biochemist and whatnot and to work in that arena. But I questioned, okay, Cherrea, what is it that you want to do? What is your passion? And so I danced around that because I'm one of those people who are good at many things. I'm good at many things. So I'm good at writing and I'm good at speaking and I'm even good at dancing, right? And so as I look to continue my education, I thought, okay, do I want a master's in leadership? Do I want a master's in communications? And I just kind of stopped. Right? I just said, I'm tired of thinking. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then one day, actually in church, it kind of like hit me. My pastor, Dr. Kerwin B. Lee of the Berean Christian Church in Stone Mountain, he had just gotten his doctorate from Luther Rice University and Seminary. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and look into that. And so I did, and that was the answer. So I went on to get my master's in biblical counseling. And I said, yes, I want to be a life coach. It's who I am. It's who God has been setting me up to be for some, I'm not going to tell my age, but some decades, just a couple decades now. And, you know, and then in that very day, he gave me life. And I said, well, what does life stand for? What is life? It has to be some type of acronym. And just as clear as day, he said, living in fervent excellence. So I said, well, you know what? Absolutely. So because of the prayers of the righteous, the fervent prayers of the righteous avail as much. I believe it's in James 5:16 in the Word of God. And so I looked up fervent, and I saw that it meant with passion and it meant with zeal. And I just found that so many people that I came across on a daily basis, they were living, but they weren't truly living. They didn't have that passion. They didn't have that zeal. They were doing exactly what I had been doing just day in and day out, and that's no way to live. So I just wanted to basically encapsulate that word and just live it.
Absolutely. Love it, love it. So tell us, Cherrea, what was your key driving force to becoming an entrepreneur?
Key driving force is just the mere fact that I could do it. Right? And so I saw so many people around me doing it, and I truly believed that I could do, be, and have anything that I desired. So instead of, you know, working and having a boss, I'm the boss, right? And so it was time for me to truly start walking in that destiny. I also wanted to break some generational curses and to change the narrative a little bit, to do something different that was not done in my family lineage, and to say, okay, here, I can pivot and I can make a difference and I can change so that now my family could be a family of entrepreneurs. And, you know, I am so proud to say that that has already begun, even in a few short years since I've made that decision, that my now 20-year-old has her own LLC, her business, and is a professional makeup artist. And she's in school and she's doing her thing. And, you know, it's that, I mean, that's what it's about. And so when she says, well, I want to have millions, I want to be a millionaire, I want to go to California, I want to this and that, I'm like, that's what's up. I don't say, no, you got to get a 9-to-5 and you got to get your education and do it this way, because that way worked for the generations before us, but that does not work today. And so if it doesn't work, it just wasn't working for me. That's the bottom line. So I knew that I could, and so I did.
Love it. Love it. You know, definitely love your energy, Cherrea, which is another great segue into my next question. What motivates you?
What motivates me is just every day that I wake up and I'm given another opportunity. That is motivation in itself. I know that as long as I have breath in my body, that there is work for me to do. I don't profess to know it all, right? There's a lot more work that I need to do within myself, but I do have and I do possess a special gift to be able to help someone else do it. And so because there are other people who need my gift, and I am the only one that can give it to them, that motivates me tremendously.
Love it. And listen, listeners, I hope you guys are paying attention, because ideas are useless unless used. And you can definitely tell that, Cherrea, you're definitely using the gifts that God is giving you. And I think everybody just needs to understand that everything begins with an idea. So it's amazing to hear how, you know, you got started, how you came about the name, and what motivates you. So tell us, how has being an entrepreneur affected your family life?
It has affected it, I would say, in great ways, although at times it could be some stressors that we encounter or that I encounter, but the majority of those stressors are positive ones, right? And so you can have negative stressors and you can have positive stressors, and I can say that the majority have been positive, meaning that, hey, yes, I do have to do scheduling. I do have to watch my time. I do have to watch where my energy goes, right? I do have to do my research, and I have to attend networking events, and I have to talk to people, and I have to do all these things in which successful entrepreneurs have to do. And so I may not have as much time as I had before to fraternize or to, kick back and watch movies or reruns, right? If it's a rerun, I saw it before. So, I mean, really? So most of my time is dedicated into pouring into myself, pouring into my business so that I can be a better me for the people that God will have me to serve. And so there is some strains, but I guarantee you I do take the much-needed time for self, and I do take the much-needed time for family. And when I give my undivided attention to whomever comes in my path, then it is what it is. It's exactly that, my undivided attention. And so I don't lack in that area, but I have noticed some changes when it comes to the way I operate so that I can be as successful as I can be.
Absolutely. And, I think a lot of people just don't understand the journey that it takes, right? The ability, the motivation, and the attitude that it takes. So could you just enlighten us? And I know a lot of the listeners want to know this from individuals like yourself. How many hours a day do you work on average into your business, into your craft, into your gift? How many hours a day do you work on average?
That is a good question because I never stop working. You understand? It's a total way of living, right? I was just speaking with someone in a spiritual group that I'm in, and we talked about prayer, and I said that I never cease praying. Right, although I may not be saying the words, I'm a living prayer, right? And so it's kind of just like being an entrepreneur. It's like I'm just a living entrepreneur. So almost every move that I make, I'm always in that mindset. And so if I had to quantify it and give you a number, let's say if I get my 8 hours of sleep, and I am so I love my sleep. That's all I gotta say. So if I get my 8 hours, then see, there's 16 hours left. I'm going to say like 14.75. Like I'm always working. I'm always, talking to someone, networking with someone. When I'm on social media, I'm very mindful of what I do. It's probably connected to something that I do. Nothing too much is just because. Right, and so hey, if you get ready, if you stay ready, right, then you don't ever got to get ready. So I try to live by that.
That's it. Absolutely. So tell us what, in the midst of all of that, what has been your most satisfying moment in business?
My most satisfying moment is when it's so many satisfying moments, but I would say that my first client as a coach, or my first client as, a business partner, right? I believe that, I know that I work very hard, and to finally see it come to fruition, it's rewarding. I already know that I have what I have, right? And so to just see that the seeds that have been planted are now starting to blossom and bloom and do all the other good stuff, then it's just so rewarding to me. So it's not so much the price tag or the dollar sign, if you will, that's attached to it, but it's just me stepping into my God-given abilities and my birthright. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us, Cherrea, before you even give us that, I want you guys to understand that ability is what you're capable of doing. Motivation determines what you do, and attitude determines how well you do it. So, listen, Cherrea, just tell us, if you had the chance to start your career over again, what would you do differently?
Start it sooner. So, because this is, a true story, and I suppose it's a true story for many of us. Had we listened to that inner voice that was speaking when we were 5, 10, 15, and 20, and made the decision and to agree with that, then we may be in different places today. So I've always had a passion to help. I've always had the gift of understanding, and I've always loved, like, psychology, right? And so when I was a teenager, I said, hey, I'm going to be a psychologist, right? But what had happened was, I'm from the inner city.
There go that here. What had happened was.
Right. I saw, I'm from Philly, and I saw a lot of, negative things happening around me, from the drugs to the murders to, whatever, right? And so I needed to get out, and I had a desire to get out, and so the driving force, or the other driving force that was speaking to me was, okay, how can I get out? What's the fastest way? And I need money, right? And so I began to ask myself, instead of listening to myself, that innate part of me, listening to that as being a psychologist or a counselor, I started asking myself some questions like, okay, what can I do? What am I good at? So I was definitely good at math and science. And so, you know what? I was like, I'm going to be a biochemist. I'm going to be a chemist. And how much they make? Okay, that's what's up. But how much does a psychologist make? I don't know about that. And so I went ahead and went with the money. But I tell you, I'm back where I'm supposed to be. So had I listened to myself, then I would have started walking in my purpose long before I made a decision to do it. But what I love about God is that I was still walking in my purpose. I might not have known it, and I might not have been getting paid for it, right? But I definitely was. He was setting me up. He was allowing me to grow and allowing me to have a life such that I can be the successful life coach that I am today. So there are no regrets, right? But if I could do something sooner, because I could have helped more people, right? Had I done this 20 years ago, imagine how many more people I would have been able to help. So that's it.
Absolutely. So tell us, Cherrea, what key activities would you recommend entrepreneurs to invest their time in?
Absolutely. Some key activities is to hone in on your craft, to hone in on your gifts, and to get as much education, as much knowledge, and as much practice as you can in that. And so invest in yourself. When you see a course and it's $2,000, don't look at the dollar sign so much, because you're worth $2 trillion, right? So, okay,
exactly.
Right? $2,000. When you want something bad enough, you'll go after it. Don't set the intention, right? I mean, so basically I want people to learn how to set intentions and say, well, my intention is to attend this course. My intention is to do this webinar, to go to the seminar. And when you do that, then it will come to you. You don't have to worry about how it's going to get paid or those things. I'm telling you, when you set the intention and you put the belief in that it will be done, it will be done. Miraculous things have happened. Hey, they may say, here's the course half off. Hey, we're going to sponsor you. The money could fall out of the sky. God is able, right? When you set the intention, then it will work out for you. So never go into a situation that is going to be beneficial to yourself as an entrepreneur thinking, well, I can't afford it. I don't know how to do it. See, you're starting off wrong already. That negative self-talk.
Yeah.
We're not doing that, right? We don't do that when we are entrepreneurs. So we always have to have the most belief in ourselves, and when we do, then it'll catapult us into dimensions that we've only dreamed of.
Absolutely. And listen, you guys, activity leads to productivity. Point blank, period. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So, two more questions, Cherrea, and we're going to let you go. Who has been your greatest inspiration? Absolutely. Who has been your greatest inspiration?
Wow, so many. Well, I served as a foster parent for 10 years, so my entire decade the entire decade of my 30s, and I've had the privilege and the honor to help raise 23 foster daughters, various backgrounds, various ages, and various nationalities, right? Japanese, Black, Hispanic, white, etc. And they're my inspiration because just when I was doing that work, I initially thought that, okay, I'm helping them. I'm hoping to help them see something different, do something different, be something different. And it was so many moments in that journey that it was the opposite effect, if you will. Not opposite, but they were, in fact, helping me to see something different, do something different, and be something different. And so I take a lot from that, kind of like out of the mouths of babes. Never underestimate, a child or someone younger because they can be some of your greatest inspirations. And so I take a lot from that because they were some of my number one fans, and they may not have known it, but they've helped me to continue my mission of helping young women and girls to being now a big sister in the Big Brother and Big Sister program, in which now I have a little brother who's 12 years old, and to continue to do that work because all of that work still helps me as an entrepreneur to stay grounded, to understand that there are so many people to help, not just the big people, but the little people as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Last question, Cherrea. Tell every entrepreneur out there, what book would you recommend for them to start off reading, either at the beginning or at some point in their journey? What would you recommend?
Man, that's a very tough question because there are so many books out there. One book that helped me, one book that helped me is Speak Your Voice, Unmute Your Voice by Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. That book served as, a driving force in my life in 2019, where I had noticed that although I was speaking and I was walking into my God-given abilities, there were some things that I was muting that took place in my past that I was still operating on, right? And so that book helped me to understand that fact and to get free of that bondage, which helped me to be able to speak even more and to be able to shine even brighter. So that's an awesome book. I am also reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Oh my God! This dude,
great book.
I read I read like 2 lines and I had to put it down because it's just so deep. I just need to let it soak in, and I put it down for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, stop playing, pick it back up, right? So that book. Another is Ask and It Shall Be Given, or Ask and It Will Be Given by Jerry and Esther Hicks. Amazing. And, Who Moved My Cheese, right? I forget the author, but that's a quick, short read.
Great book.
Right. So, I'm a little learned. I read a little bit. But absolutely, those are some great books to start off with. And you can start off with it. You can be in the middle of your journey with it as an entrepreneur, and you could be, I don't think as an entrepreneur it never ends. So at any point during your journey as an entrepreneur, right, until you take your last breath. But so at any point, any of those books are amazing.
Absolutely. Well, Cherrea, thank you so much for giving us a piece of you, giving us some of your time to be able to give us a part of your life and your journey. And we just thank you so much. Do everybody that is listening live now and even that's going to be listening to the replay, give them all of the ways that they can stay connected to Miss Future Dr. Cherrea Williams.
Hey, I like that. Absolutely. So you can reach me on Facebook at Cherrea Williams, Cherrea, and that's Williams. I also have a page for the Tava lifestyle. It's called The Arch. So that's ARCH, where your health is your wealth. And I also have a page for Life as You. So life, again, is living in fervent excellence as you, because I know that you are enough. And so you could also check out my webpage at lifeasyou.org. You can also shoot me an email at cherrea.williams@lifeasyou.org. You can also check me out on Instagram, and that is Tava Boss, because I'm a Tava Boss lady, or life.as.you. And you know what? For you special people, and you all are special, you can even shoot me a text. You can give me a call if you want at 678-886-5767. I will be so excited and happy to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Cherrea. We appreciate you tremendously. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, there's no reason not to go after what sets your soul on fire. And that, with that being said, make your passion your paycheck. My name is Dr. Casual Pitts, and I will see you guys next Friday on Featured Entrepreneur Friday. Peace.